I had a request to go over the lesson with a video. So our lesson today was on reasoning with benchmarks. So fractions on the number line. So I'm actually taking a couple of the problems from the homework tonight and going into more detail with them to help you out. When it comes to plotting these three numbers, my suggestion is to figure out what half of whatever the denominator is so that you can figure out how that relates to the two. So for instance, half of 3 is 1.5. So imagine 1.5 is this point. The question is, where would 2 come in? 2 is, of course, more than 1.5, so it would come somewhere between 1/2 and 1/2. 2 would be somewhere around this point. So I would label this 2/3 because, again, you're just kind of imagining this is our 1.5 thirds. That's not a real fraction, but it's a good way for us to figure out how does 2/3 relate to 1/2, and it's just a little bit bigger. 1/6, now with a number like this, 1/6, that's going to be really close to my 0. So I know 3/6 is the halfway point. 3/6 is 1/2, and that has the same denominator. So 3/6 would line up here. That means 2/6 would be around this spot. 1/6 would be somewhere in here. So I would label this 1/6. That's 4/10. When it comes to tenths, I know that 5/10 is 1/2. So imagine this is 5/10. If I needed to show where 4/10 goes, it's going to be before the 1/2 mark. So I can mark it about here. Figure this is about 4, 3, 2/10 somewhere in here, 1/10, and then 0. So now I've plotted out, let's see if I get my 4/10 here. I've plotted out where 1/6, 4/10, and 2/3 would be located. So for number 1B, you'll just be comparing these three fractions, possibly to 1/2. On the back side of the homework, you have problems where they give you two fractions, and you have to compare those two fractions by writing greater than or less than on the lines. However, the hard part is giving an explanation for each answer, referring to that benchmark of 0, 1/2, or 1. So if you want to refer to a number line when you're placing where these are located, you can. Or you can just start thinking about, is it closer to 0, 1/2, or 1? And sometimes you have to really figure out which side of 1/2 it's going to be on to help you figure out which one is the bigger or the smaller. So if I start with the 1/3, again, with thirds, I'm thinking, well, 1.5 is the middle of thirds. So imagine my 1/2 is actually 1.5 for thirds. 1/3 would be before it, that means. Here's my 1/3. So 1/3 is less than 1/2. For 3/6, just think, 3/6 is actually equal to 1/2, exactly on the dot. So if I say that, and 3/6 equals 1/2, there's my evidence. Here's the 1/3, here's the 3/6. I know that 1/3 is actually less than 3/6 because 1/3 is less than 1/2 and 3/6 is equal to 1/2. So I want to justify it by using these benchmark fractions. Another example that's on the homework is 7/8. Well, I know 7/8 is almost 1/2, 8/8. So I know it's going to be somewhere around here. It's greater than 1/2. 4/8 is 1/2, just as a reminder. I'm going to erase that though. 4/8 is 1/2, so I know it's greater, but I know it's super close to the 1/2, 8/8. 3/5, if I think about what half of 5 is, that's 2.5. So imagine this halfway point is 2.5. We need to figure out where 3 is. 2.5 is not very far away from 3. So my two fractions here, 7/8 and 3/5 is somewhere around here. So I would know that 7/8 is greater than 3/5. My reason, I can't just say 7/8 is bigger than 1/2, 3/5 is greater than 1/2. That doesn't prove that these two are, well, the 7/8 is bigger than 3/5. I would have to say that 7/8 is close to 1 whole, and 3/5 is, let's say, close to 1/2. It's bigger than 1/2, but really just knowing that it's close to this 1/2 point is enough reason for me to think that 7/8, close to a whole, is greater than 3/5, which is close to 1/2. So hopefully this clarifies a little bit of the information of what we did in class today. We'll be doing more fractions similar to this tomorrow, so it's not going to go away. Have a good night.